everyone. Today I will be doing a updated Democratic nominee 2028 tier list. Yes, ranking how I think each Democrat, how much of a chance I think each Democrat has a chance to win the primaries and the 2028 election. I will be assuming that the Republican nominee is JD Vance. So some of these people could win against other Republicans, but probably not. But some of them can't win against JD, so I'm assuming JD wins the Republican primaries. We have John Fetterman, who I'm gonna have an F tier. I mean, he is flip flops too much, and honestly, I don't think he would do too good on debate stage with JD Vance. So I'm just gonna have him in F tier. Might move him up to D tier, but I'm gonna have him in F tier. I'm gonna save these guys for later. Yes, a little bit later. Maybe Josh. Okay, Gretchen Whitmer, governor of Michigan, but she will no longer be governor in 2026. So far, it looks like she is positioning herself to have a 2028 run. I don't know too much about her other than her being governor of Michigan. I know she's more of a classical Democrat, or I guess sort of believes in like the same thing like Joe Biden believes, Biden liberalism. She is. I actually don't know how old she is, but she does seem a lot younger. I do think Democrats need to get a lot younger in order to win this election. They need somebody that is only in their 40s or 50s. No, there should be no one that is above the age of, like 70 or even 65 running for the Democrats next election. Because let's be real, it's an easy loss for anybody that's too old. I mean, just because of JD Vance's age, that easily gives him a boost, and yes, what am I trying to say? And just like the starting out of the election. Alright, now we move on to Pete Buttigieg, who I will also have in B tier. Very good talker, goes on a lot of podcasts, is also positioning himself to run for 2028. But I do think Gretchen Whitmer's experience just gives her the upper hand over Pete Buttigieg. We have seen that he can do good in a primary whenever he won Iowa in 2020. So I'm going to have him in probably lower B tier. Westmore, very charismatic, governor of Maryland. Out of all the Democratic states, I don't really hear Maryland get criticized that much. I haven't heard too much Maryland criticism. Most Democratic states I hear criticism of are New York and California. Now we have Kamala Harris, who I'm going to put in C, maybe D tier. I'm going to put Kamala Harris in D tier. I just think Democrats need to get away from the Biden administration completely. And Kamala Harris, which of course, Joe Biden's VP. So I just think Democrats need to just run away from the Biden administration. No one, I mean, this could probably go for Pete, but really no one that was truly deeply inside that administration should really be running for president. Cory Booker, I'm going to put in C tier. He hasn't really positioned himself to run in 2028 yet, but it is only 2025. He is sort of that, like, liberal resistment guy. Like his 25-hour long speech in Congress could definitely help boost his numbers a little bit. Smoother talker, but I don't really know if he's super charismatic. I don't think too many people know him. I haven't really seen him on podcasts or anything. So I'm just gonna put him C tier. We have Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania. Seems charismatic. Pennsylvania also re-elected him in 2024 by a pretty large margin, I believe. It was like by like 10%, I believe. I do think he could win the Democratic primaries very easily and could win the 2028 election against JD Vance. AOC, I'm gonna put her in C tier. It just depends on how bad if Trump's term is completely terrible. If Trump's term is completely terrible, then AOC shoots up to like high B tier because she is far left, and I think the worse Trump's term is, the farther left that they should go. If Trump's term is like pretty mid, then go with Josh Shapiro. If it is just completely awful, a dumpster fire, go with AOC. But whatever you do, do not go with Kamala. We now have Mark Kelly, which a senator from Arizona. Uh, I don't know too much about him other than that. I'm gonna put him in C tier. He does seem to be able to market himself well. A classic Democrat, but I've never heard anybody like complain about his voting record or anything like that. Ruben, very young, yes, won Arizona. That could definitely help them. You know, these two guys being senators for Arizona could definitely help them. So I'm going to put them both, win that swing state. So I'm going to put them both in high C tier. But I'm going to put Mark Kelly above Ruben, yes, because of the experience. Ralph Warnock, and also Ruben showed that he could win in a Republican year anyway, whenever he beat Carrie Lake in the Senate race, and was, even though Trump won that state by 6%, he was still able to win the Senate race. People ticket split for him, so he has shown even in years where Republicans are gonna do extremely well, he can still come out on top. So, honestly, I think that gives him a little bit of a boost. Warnock, he has shown that he can win in a swing state, Georgia. I think I'll put him probably just right behind Cory Booker in this scenario. Elizabeth Warner, I'm going to put in D tier. She's just too old for the Democrats to run. And also, I don't really know if she would be too good of a debater against JD Vance. I'm just going to have her in D tier. But I'll have her above Kamala. Andy Bashir, I think he goes in D tier just because of his controversies. That's just too much for a lot of people to get over. And also, he's just not. He's not all that. I don't think he can win a primary. There's just not enough financial backing behind him to win a primary. Tim Walz, I'm also going to have D tier. Tim Walz, Kamala Harris. Tim Walz is still somewhat. I don't know. I'm going to have him in D tier. John Ossoff. He was looking like he was going to lose the Georgia Senate race if Brian Kemp ended up winning. And it doesn't really seem like he can run against a strong Republican candidate. He is young, which does help him. But I think I'm just going to have him in high D tier. Dean Phillips probably couldn't win a primary, but could win a general election maybe. I'll have him above Kamala and Elizabeth. I think I'll have him right behind Ossoff. Gavin, I'm going to skip the people I know a little bit less about. Gavin Newsom has financial backing for him, is positioning himself to run in 2028. He has, as long as he continues on going with his podcast and, just making himself more known among the general American public, I definitely do think he could win a primary. I don't know. And he has the financial backing. I don't know if he could win a general. He could do it in a bad Trump year, but his record as California governor isn't the best. I think I'm going to put him right above Rubin. We then have JP Perksker, is how I think you pronounce his name, and him being a billionaire and sort of seem as like an establishment Democrat lands him in F tier. We then have Chris Murphy, which I'm also going to put in F tier just because he probably wouldn't escape a primary. He might drop out before the primaries. I sort of see him as like how Rand Paul was in the 2016 Republican primaries. Who's some more people I know a little bit more about? Jared Polis, probably F tier. Said said some weird stuff on X, and honestly, I don't think he could escape a primary. Uh, I know Amy, she's probably like right behind Tim Walz. Honestly, I'm gonna put Andy Bashir like back here. Yeah, right behind Tim Walz. Amy, I just know that she isn't the most likable, best speaker person. Um, Nina Turner just doesn't have the experience. I'll put her maybe at the top of F tier. Um, Roy Cooper, probably he's probably like high D tier. I'll put it. I'll put him. I'll put him in like low C. Yeah, I'll put him. I'll put him right behind Oswald's. And then Phil Murphy. I know he's New Jersey's governor, incumbent governor, I believe, or he's running for governor, something like that. It depends on how New Jersey goes, but overall, I don't think he could escape a primary. I'm gonna put him right above Dean Phillips, and then Tammy Baldwin. I'm gonna put above, maybe right behind Kamala. Um, and after that, all of these people, let's be real, probably won't escape a primary. You just gotta have them all in F tier. Some are probably in D tier, but I don't know enough about them, most of these people, to truly rank them. Anyway, here's my official primary list. Um, or I guess a Democrat nominee list. Anyway, thank you all for watching and peace out.